Guys, Aston Villa have just lost 2-0 to Wolves. And do you know what that means? That means Manchester United could be third by the end of the weekend. We have a Crystal Palace that have played midweek that haven't been playing great lately. We are at home. It's a game you'd expect us to win, but for some reason, those games that you expect us to win, we maybe feel the pressure more and we don't win. So it's not a guaranteed win, but we have better goal difference than Villa, which means if we win, we will end the weekend in third place. Imagine saying that after we lost to Grimsby, that we'd be in third place in game week 29. Game week 28, I think I would have been like, what? And obviously, Arsenal have Chelsea. Chelsea could drop points. We could really get maybe a 6 point advantage in this sort of top four race, which would be absolutely great, especially if Liverpool drop points. Things are looking good. But look, I'm not here to talk about the table. I'll probably talk about that in my live stream tomorrow. I want to talk about the news. I want to talk about the stories because Man United's midfield plans could be taking a big twist. New links to Barella. Barella now a midfield target. We also got linked earlier today but to a Gome. We're starting to be linked to names that aren't Baleba, Wharton, Anderson. We're starting to be linked to other names. Mason Mount talking to Villa. Villa are interested. Could Mason Mount leave Manchester United? We know that he's a bit injury prone. United might want to move him on, but he does have big wages. We've got updates on Mount and De Ligt's injury, when they will return. But Marcus Rashford deal done, according to some reports coming out of Spain. Jarrod Bowen links, Malick Thiaw links. The Malick Thiaw links are definitely just made up, I think. Let's get into the news. Let's get into the stories because there's a lot to talk about in regards to Manchester United. But first of all, if you do enjoy today's video, feel free to hit that like button. You're welcome to subscribe if you're new. Let's dive into the 10-minute roundup. Now, this story has come from Footy Insider, so I would say take it with a pinch of salt, but this isn't the first time that Mason Mount's been linked to Villa. Now, Footy Insider is saying, Villa and Fulham are among Premier League clubs interested in Man United's Mason Mount. First of all, Fulham cannot afford Mason Mount's wages, so rule them out. Aston Villa can afford Mason Mount's wages if they've got Champions League football, but they're still in a PSR kind of position. So I think Mount could go to Aston Villa. I think it's a very Aston Villa-esque signing. Mason Mount, I could see it happening, but Mason Mount would probably have to take a wage cut to leave Man United, and why is he going to take a wage cut? Let's be honest, we gave him ridiculous wages. If we're going to sell him, he will have to agree to take a wage cut. I can't see him doing that. I think Mason Mount is one of those that we'll probably keep because midfield options are thin. We keep him as a depth option. I see Mason Mount leaving on free. I see Mason Mount leaving on a free because we've given him ridiculous wages, if I'm going to be honest. But I think if Ineos can make some money from Mount, they will. I don't think they'll loan Mount out because I think he's such a good player when fit. Well, he's on right player. He's a good, valuable player when fit to have in the squad. So I can understand why we wouldn't want to loan him out. But I think if we got a permanent offer like 25-30 million for Mount, I think Ineos sell. In terms of Mount and his injury, it was said by Carrick that Mason is getting closer. He's on grass. He's a good player. We're looking after him and making sure he's ready for the big finish for the season. With De Ligt, he's had a back issue. That's why he's further behind. Something tells me we might not see De Ligt again this season, which is a shame because he was our player of the season for the first bit of the season. He was unbelievable. But Mount should be back soon, and that's just a good player to have to come off the bench. I think the fact that we could bring Cunha off the bench in some games, Sesko off the bench in other games, and Mount off the bench in games. I think that's an element of decent depth. Obviously, we need depth at left wing. We need depth at centre mid. We need depth at, probably full. We just need an attacking fullback with Dorgu injured. But it's all good things. Now, a lot of what we can do in the summer depends on the outs. And one of the outs that we want to do is Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. Now, Barcelona have been mucking about, but it looks like a deal is done. And Manchester United will technically make around 41 million from this in pure profit as you get them off the wage bill, and we make 26 million, which is 30 million euros. Barcelona are going to pay in 3 installments of 10 million a year. Now, some people are annoyed at that, but I'm like, at the end of the day, we're getting our 26 million for Rashford, so I don't care. We played in Bumo in 3 installments. We paid for Cunha in 3 installments. We buy players in 3 installments. So sometimes we're going to have to sell players in 3 installments because Barcelona aren't the richest club in the world. Their finances aren't the best. Rashford's going to go. We're going to get the money for Rashford. I think we could have easily got 40 million for Rashford, to be honest. But Barcelona and Man United have found a way to make that happen. And reports are saying that it's pretty much, confirmed that Barcelona will pay up. And this is how they will do it to get the Rashford deal over the line. Barcelona have a full agreement with Marcus Rashford to stay next season. The remaining step is arranging the 30 million payment to United, agreed to be paid in 3 installments of 10 million over 3 seasons. Look, I like Rashford. There's a part of me that would love Rashford back at Manchester United because we need a left winger. I think he's a good player. But Marcus Rashford's head isn't at Manchester anymore. It's in Barcelona. If you bring him back, his head might not be there. If Rashford's head's not there, he doesn't perform at the best. I'm sure someone like Carrick would like him. And I actually think sacking Amrin and bringing Carrick in, a manager who would like Rashford, has actually probably helped us get Barcelona to pay up. I think if Amrin was here to the end of the season, I think Barcelona would be trying to get him for cheaper because they would know he has no place at Manchester. Whereas now Carrick's here, I think Barcelona are like, well, they actually could bring him back. So let's pay up and get this done. And good to see that this deal is almost done. I mean, it's not officially confirmed, but it's been confirmed by many sources in Spain that this will happen. And many are saying done deal. But of course, we've got to wait for official confirmation from Ornstein and Romano. And that probably won't come till later in the season. So let's dive into some midfield news and some midfield stories. Now, this has come from Pacheas. Again, I take Pacheas with a pinch of salt, but we are looking at a few midfielders that we haven't been linked to before, which is interesting. They said Inter Milan's Nico Barella has emerged as a leading name on Manchester United's shortlist to spearhead their new sporting project. The asking price has been about 70 million euros, which is about 58 million pounds. I like Barella. I think he's a good player. He's more of a box-to-box player. You know, for me, Tonali, Barella, that would be brilliant. I don't know what that accent was. I think to replace Casemiro, Tonali would be my number one pick. I don't think we'll get him. I don't. But I would love Tonali. As a number 8, Barella. Wow. Yeah, I like Mateus Fernandes. I like Elliot Anderson. I like a lot of players. We need 3 midfielders. We need 180 million midfielder, 150, 60 million midfielder, and then another 30 million midfielder. Obviously, we're linked to Luciano Gomez earlier today. I do think United have gone off Baleba. He was Anderson's number 1. He was Amarin's number 1. He's been poor this season. I think Anderson is who Man United want. I think he's going to go to City. I think Tonali's one that United will ambitiously try and get, but again, not confident we get him. Wharton, it feels like he's going to go Liverpool. So I do think United will look elsewhere at a Gomez, at Barella, maybe at a Mateus Fernandes or Sander Berge. I think Man United are going to look elsewhere because I don't think it's as straightforward as we get one of Baleba, Anderson and Wharton as people think. I think things have changed with Baleba's form, with Amarin being sacked, with the fact that nearly every top club needs a midfielder. I do think there's been a bit of a twist in midfield plans. And also, what we do in midfield massively depends on Bruno. If Bruno goes, maybe we go for Morgan Rogers, maybe we go for Morgan Gibbs-White. Cole Palmer's been linked. I don't think we'd be able to get Cole Palmer. Bruno Guimaraes was once linked. Again, I would love Bruno Guimaraes. Cannot see Newcastle doing business for him. I think Tonali would be more like than Bruno Guimaraes, and I think Tonali would be difficult to get. I think Newcastle will only sell one player this summer, and I think it would be one of Tonali or Gordon. I think if they was to sell one of their big players, I don't see Bruno Guimaraes going anywhere. I don't see Lewis Hall going anywhere. There's rumours of Malick Thiaw to Man United, which I think is absolute BS. I think Newcastle at most sell one player, and that's either Tonali or Gordon. I think more likely Tonali in the summer. There was a brief today that Tonali's very happy at Newcastle. But Tonali's agent is making noise. But yeah, I think Barella could be one to watch. I think that our midfield plans will probably change because I wanted Baleba, but he was Amarin's number 1. Amarin isn't here anymore. Maybe we've gone off him. Now, I could talk about midfield for ages, but I spend so much time talking about midfield and what Man United allegedly want to do in the midfield, and we know we want to do this and that. Wing is obviously another position we want to address. We've been linked to Njai, we've been linked to Yan Diamonde, we've been linked to Mateus Mane, who had a very good game for Wolves versus Villa today. But Mane is more of a second striker for me, rather than a winger. Now, interestingly, one of the other links coming about, and this isn't the first time we've been linked to him, but I don't think there's anything in it, is Jarrod Bowen. Now, the reason I don't think there's much in it is because Bowen is a right winger, not a left winger. I just don't think we need him. Like, I like Bowen, he's a good player, but we need a left winger. We've got Mbeumo and we've got Ahmad that can play right wing. Bowen is going to be 30 next season. Like, we've got 2 right wingers. We need a left winger. I don't see the point. I know that he can play striker in that, but like, if we want to sign a striker, which I don't think we need, because I think if we sign a left winger, Cunha will be the other striker alongside Sesko, and Mbeumo can play that. But if we're going to sign a striker, if Spurs get relegated, I think we should be all over Solanke. I wouldn't bring in Bowen to be right-wing striker. We've got that in Mbeumo. I don't see the point. Like, for me, I would rather go for an Njai. I'd rather go for an out-and-out winger like a Varitz Helia. I think we need a left winger. And I think if we're going to bring in someone like Njai that's a left wing fielder, like a bit like Cunha, but more of a natural winger. I think then we need a really good attacking left back that likes to overlap and hold the width as well. And I think as well, we probably need a left back. I mean, Dorgu could probably do that if he stays fit, of course. And then last but not least, Christian Folks links us to Malick Thiaw. Malick Thiaw literally has been brilliant. Don't get me wrong. But one, United want a left-sided centre-back more than a right-sided centre-back. Two, Malick Thiaw only joined Newcastle in the summer. Malick Thiaw doesn't want to leave Newcastle. Newcastle don't want to sell him. I'm sure United might consider him if we need a right centre-back. But I feel like Newcastle fans bite when you say their players up for sale, and Man United gets clicks. So I think Newcastle bite, Man United clicks. I think this is made up. I don't think we're in for Malick Thiaw. I think that, of course, he might be on Bayern's radar because he's German and that. But I don't see Malick Thiaw going anywhere. I don't think United are in for him. I think it's a story to get some clicks. He's got some bites out of Newcastle fans. So, yeah, I don't think we're in for Thiaw. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye.